Hey guys, and welcome back to part 2. After a night's herping in Lightning Ridge, we were finally travelling into the Brigalow Belt region of southern Queensland. After a bit of a detour due to flooding, we finally made it to our campground. We had a quick bite to eat and then went road cruising. Our first find was an eastern hooded scalyfoot. These pygopods were very common in the region. What ended up being a very slow night, we did manage to find a couple diseased banded snakes on the way back to our campsite. The next morning, we ended up at Oedura National Park. The habitat looked really good for things like tristis, although we didn't manage to find anything. On the way back to camp, we did find a couple lace monitors. Later that afternoon, the storm started to form. The weather didn't deter this spotted black snake from being on the move. A lot of people would consider this behaviour chasing, but the snake is just trying to get us to back off enough so it can escape safely. You can see how it is flattening its neck. These snakes are in the family Elapidae and are distant cousins of other species like cobras. That night we received a lot of heavy rainfall, which brought out the Crucifix Frogs. These burrowing frogs eat ants and termites, as you will see in this clip. We didn't end up going road cruising the night before, as we were worried about flooding. The creeks and rivers were still very swollen from all the rain the region has been having. The water level was very high at some point, judging by the damage high up on the bank. We did manage to spot this eastern bearded dragon basking on this exact log. With the sun setting and no rain in sight, it was gearing up to be a very productive night. Firstly, we found this curl snake, a smaller lapid common in arid Australia. Next, we managed to find another eastern hooded scalyfoot, although this one had a beautiful silver coloration, like nothing I'd seen before. Not long after that, we found a Dwyer's snake, another member of the Suta family. To round off the night, we found this Australian coral snake. This one had a lot darker of a red colour than the New South Wales ones we have seen. The next morning, we were packing up camp along the river to head to our next destination. As we were going to the toilet before leaving, we did have a couple unexpected finds. Like this young yellow-spotted monitor, he was living in a hole on the tennis court. And as I was walking around the toilet block, I managed to find this spotted black basking in the morning sun. We then drove to St George, well known to Aussie herpers as the home of the red mulga. We checked into a hotel and started looking for wildlife. The first find was a massive eastern blue tongue. It was crazy to see it on the road in temperatures of 37 degrees. The first thing we found, after it got dark, was this cute little eastern beaked gecko. We were pretty excited to see this elapid, a nice cream coloured strap snouted brown snake. These quicker lapids are highly venomous. Quite a few inland marbled velvet geckos were found that night also. And finally, the reason we drove all this way. We found a mulga snake. Mulgas are one of the largest venomous snakes in Australia and feast mainly on reptiles including other snakes. As I said earlier, the animals from this region are a beautiful red colour. Just absolutely stunning to see in person. Thanks for watching part 2. Stay tuned to see if we can top our Mulga Snake find in part 3.